guys, what is up? Welcome to my channel. If you haven't already, hit subscribe. This is Raising Rebels, Motherhood Unfiltered. I am Alana. I am a mom of 3, a wife, a stay-at-home mom, and a homemaker. And I wanted to get on my channel to kind of give my advice to those who want to hear it, and also just be a voice of reality for those new moms or seasoned moms who feel like social media is just filter after filter, like not only physically, but also like what we're putting out there emotionally is just so filtered. And I know for me, when I was a first-time mom, like 7 years ago when I had my first baby, I felt so alone and so confused, and everything was so hard, and I felt like no one really told the truth. Okay? I felt like nobody really told the truth about motherhood, and I have made it a goal of mine to be honest with that next mom, as long as they're open to receiving that information, to be honest about my experience and hopefully give them some like solidarity that they're not alone. And I don't know, that's my thought process behind Raising Rebels. I wanted to document our homeschooling journey, my day in the life as a stay-at-home mom of 3, how I maintain a household, and how I balance everything else that I have going on in my life. And so I thought I would start today's video talking about homeschooling and some of the mistakes that I have made and things that I won't be doing again as a homeschooling mom going into this new school year. So the first mistake I made in 2020 when I first started homeschooling was I tried to bring the school environment home. I tried to recreate a schoolroom that was designated for learning. I thought that we should be learning, in books and writing like 7 to 8 hours a day. And I now know that that is just not the way people have successful homeschooling stories, okay? Children are not meant to sit at a desk for 6, 7, 8 hours a day. A kindergartner is recommended to have 30 minutes of structured learning a day. So back in 2020, when my oldest was in kindergarten and I was, making this schoolroom and I was trying to get her to sit down for 7 hours a day and like work on some schoolwork, it was no wonder that it wasn't working, okay? Like, of course it wasn't working. This wouldn't work for any child. It really wouldn't even work for me as an adult. Like, I love staying home. I could never go sit at a desk and work a corporate job like that. I would go crazy. So I don't really know what I was thinking, but you live and you learn. And so here I am today, knowing that like that is something I'm absolutely not going to be doing going into our 2022 school year. Absolutely not. The mistake I made was pretending like I was a teacher. Like all of a sudden we're homeschooling and I'm taking off my mom hat and I'm putting on my teacher hat. And we had so many power struggles. My firstborn is like a very typical firstborn. She's very headstrong. She's very opinionated. And so me trying to pretend to be something I wasn't, like that was not vibing with her. So I will never do that again. I now know that when I approach my children's learning as a friend, a companion, a guider, I'm there to help, we have so much more success because I am not trying to intervene and control and coach and be some kind of teacher. I am letting them explore their interests naturally, whatever kind of sparks their desire for learning. I am just there walking beside them. Sometimes I'm learning beside them. They have an interest in something that I don't know anything about, and so we end up learning together. But I'm certainly not putting on that teacher hat anymore. It's not who I am. It's not what works for us. It really might work for some homeschooling families that, you know, mom and dad put on that hat and they start to teach, and like that really resonates with their kids. I know for mine, it does not. They are like, you are not my teacher, you are my mom. What is going on? The third mistake I made was I found this curriculum in 2020 and I loved it. It was a nature-based curriculum. It was like really crunchy and I loved that. And I thought this is perfect for us, and it just wasn't. And that's okay. But at the time I was like, I am not letting go. I have a death grip on this curriculum. It's what we're gonna use because I spent money on it. And it just would have saved me so much trouble and heartache. And I wish I would have let go of it when it was time to let go. So moving forward now, I know that if something doesn't work, get rid of it. You know, there's no reason to hold on to something that's not serving us, and it's okay if you spend money on it. I totally get that. Like, you do all this research and you find something and you spend the money on it and then it doesn't work and it feels like such a failure. And the reality is like, your homeschooling journey is a journey. It's going to be a process. You're gonna find things that really work for you. You're gonna find things that really don't. And that is part of it. Sometimes there's gonna be that loss that you have to cut. And for me, I just wasn't willing to do that. And that is something that I now have a lot more acceptance with. If something doesn't work, it's totally okay. We just let it go. We find something different and we keep it moving, one foot in front of the other. The next mistake I made was doing it alone. And granted, everyone in 2020 was doing it alone. Even those seasoned homeschool families had a really hard time in 2020, just being so isolated and everything being shut down because of COVID. And that was really hard for me. And I didn't make any connections. I didn't really know anyone else who was homeschooling. And that is something that I have made a priority for this upcoming year, is to get connected with other homeschooling families. That's really important for my oldest, is to be social. She is so social and she really needs that interaction with her peers. So I am going to be focusing on group classes and any kind of sport she wants to play. That is kind of going to be a top priority for us. Another mistake I made, which I feel like is the biggest one in hindsight, is I just didn't believe in myself. I didn't think I was smart enough. I really felt like the first kind of big bump in the road, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm not cut out for this. She needs to go back to public school. I'm gonna ruin her education. Like, all of this self-doubting. I now know that I am so capable, and I really hope that if you're a new homeschooling mom or dad or family that's trying to figure out if homeschooling's right for you, or if you're stumbling across this video because you are looking up homeschooling mistakes because you're so nervous about messing up your kids, I just want you to hear this. This is it. Hear this one part. You are so capable, okay? That's it. If you hear nothing else from the whole video, you are so capable of being your child's teacher. And if you find yourself unsure of a subject or a topic or an interest that they have, you are allowed to learn with them, okay? I know that we're adults, we're grown-ups, we should be, done with school, we should know everything. It's totally okay, if you learn with them. I know, it's like mind-blowing that you would allow yourself to learn beside your child. And that is like my motto for the year. I am also trying to find things that I want to learn about this year. I really can get lost in motherhood, as many of you probably can relate. If you can't, you are like God's favorite, because I know for me, getting lost in motherhood is it's just the way it happened for me. So everything else can really take a back seat. And so finding things that I would like to learn about with them has been really eye-opening for me for their homeschool education, that I am also allowed to learn beside them. And it also really helped me with my self-confidence that I don't need to know everything. My oldest really wants to take a hand sewing class. I do not know how. And it made me realize that I would love to know how. And this is a great opportunity for her to learn, for me to learn, and for us to connect through that. And just like all around a win for everyone. And I really hope that that resonates with you, because when I allowed myself to drop the expectations that I should know everything and to accept the fact that there are going to be things I'm learning about right next to my child, it like opened up a world of new possibilities for me. And I don't know. I want to circle back to getting lost in motherhood, and I have worked really hard at finding tips and tricks and habits that work for me to maintain my balance between being a mom, being a wife, being a homemaker. I also have a dog, so I'm a dog mom, and also maintaining my own mental, spiritual, physical health, and how I'm able to like juggle it all while still feeling like I am semi normal and not completely insane. And I would love to share some of that with you guys. That feels like a whole nother video. So if you guys would like to hear more about that, my favorite tips and tricks as a stay-at-home mom, as a homemaker, let me know in the comments. Please don't forget to hit subscribe. I am so happy that you were here today to share this space with me and to listen. And I really hope that you enjoyed today's video, and I hope that you come back for more, because I really love having you guys here. And yeah, thanks for watching my channel. Bye.